Good morning, everybody. This is Roger Thunder, the Desert Shaman again. I'm going to continue in my series today of raising your consciousness. Yesterday I did a video on breathing into the abdomen and moving the energy around and that type thing. So I would suggest that if you haven't watched that video and you're just coming on the channel here and seeing the second lesson here, I would suggest that you go and review that first lesson so that you'll understand more about what we're talking about here. So I'm going to go over some things that I went over kind of quickly. I went over things like chakras and energy centers and stuff like that. So I want to clarify that now. I want to help you understand this stuff so that you can work with it in a better way. I'm still half asleep here. I'm having my coffee. So bear with me. Let me go to these illustrations now. Okay, so here is an illustration in regards to what I was talking about with the chakras, the energy centers. And if you remember in yesterday's video, the previous video, I talked about how they're flowers and what the colors were. Well, this is an example or an illustration of that, okay? And this is exactly what I was talking about with the base chakra being red, orange for the abdominal chakra, right, 1.5 inches below the navel. And this is the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, third eye, and the crown chakra. Just so you get this stuff, you'll know what I'm talking about here. Again, here's a picture of the chakras. You can see they look like flowers. You got the base chakra, which is red, and this is the next one up, which is orange, although that doesn't look real orange, but that's what it is. And then this is the solar plexus in here. You can see over here, you know, in this area. Solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, which is indigo. And if you need to stop this video and look at this stuff and maybe even take a screenshot of it, if that's something you can do with your computer. Actually, all computers should be able to take a screenshot of this. Let's move on to the next illustration here. Here's a picture of Babaji, who is the supreme yogi of the kriya line, which I have been in since 1986. This also shows the chakras. He's in a lotus position, and it shows the chakras, and it tells the names of the chakras. So if you want to take a picture of this or look at this a while, that would be a good thing. Let's move on to another one. Yesterday I talked about the pineal gland. The pineal gland being the third eye up here. If thine eye be single, thy body shall be full of light. And then I also talked about the medulla, which is back here, which is a place to suck in prana or chi or energy. And remember, it reflects off the pineal and then comes right out the third eye if you do this correctly. Okay, so here's another illustration you might want to copy or look at for a while. Yesterday I talked about the circulation of the microcosmic orbit, where you take the energy and draw it up your spine, over the top of your head and down through, and I told you about touching the tongue on the roof of your mouth here, and then having it trickle down the front and circulate back around again. And here we have a picture of the chakras. Okay, they illustrate it a little bit differently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crown chakra up here, third eye. Then in here you have 1.5 inches below the navel is what I talked about, the Dantian. Dantien, the Dantian. That would be your second chakra. This is where you store energy. And then you can circulate that energy from the perineum, up the spine, over the head, back down through the front. This is something that you can actually feel. Now, you can also draw energy up from Mother Earth, Unsi Maka, draw it up these meridians that I talked about before. This is the Du channel, DU in acupuncture, and this would be the Ren channel, REN. And then the channels or meridians that are coming up from the legs, there's a lot of them. There's, the liver channel and a lot of others. So I won't go into all that right now, but I just wanted to show you this illustration of the circulation of the microcosmic orbit. This is a deep Taoist, Taoist is how you spell Taoist, but it's actually pronounced Tao, as in D, Taoist. Want to get these words correct. I mean, you want to be able to know what you're talking about when you talk to other people. Just like a lot of people say yin yang. No, it's not yin yang, it's yin yang. Just so you know that also. Here is an illustration of what we call the serpent energy, or the Kundalini energy. This energy resides at the base of the spine. It resides at the base of the spine. No, serpents aren't bad, okay? The only belief systems that make serpents bad is the Christians, and they have totally twisted that to the nth degree, okay? Pay no attention to it. The serpent energy, or the Kundalini energy, has always been pictured or thought of in all ancient spiritual traditions as something good, not something bad, something enlightening, something to help you enlighten, or be enlightened, I should say. So yesterday I was talking about when you breathe, when you do this spiritual breathing, or another word for it, which I didn't say yesterday, is pranayama. 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 Because you're breathing prana, and the yama is actually the designation for, using the breath to move it up the Ida and Pingala channels inside the Sushumna, which is inside the spine. Here's your medulla here, up here. Hope you can see my pointer here. When you breathe, you raise this energy up, and what it does is it pierces the chakras, or the energy centers that I talked about before. The base, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, till it works its way up to your crown chakra. Okay. The Hopi people talk about the crown chakra as well, and they explain that that's how you talk to grandfather or the creator or the divine emanation of the universe. They actually had secret societies for this stuff, so don't think that the Native American doesn't know what's going on. Here's another depiction of the serpent energy, and you have the chakras here. Another depiction of that. Okay, here's some chakra with the seed sounds that I was talking about yesterday. Lam for the base chakra, Vam for the second, Ram for the third, Yam, that's the heart chakra, Ham for the throat chakra, and they say Sham for the third eye, although you can also use Om, which I talked about yesterday. And we're not going to get into this too much right now, but here's the mudras, which are hand positions, which are also very powerful things to use. In other words, when you're chanting Lam and you have your hand in this position, then that helps open up that channel or that chakra, helps move the energy around. Here's another, I think this is the final illustration of the Kundalini. That's another name for the serpent energy, the Kundalini. And you have, at the base, you have your red, orange, yellow, green. It's good to keep reviewing this stuff and get it in your mind so that you know what I'm talking about. Here's a little explanation of the third eye. So I'll read it. Third eye, or Ajna chakra, is located between your eyebrows and serves as the eye that sees within and gives clear seeing. It manages our 5 physical senses. When this chakra is purified and balanced, you gain power over your thoughts, attention, concentration, meditation. It is connected to enlightenment and samadhi, which actually samadhi is enlightenment. With this chakra, you can visualize and manifest. So when you open up this third eye, when you do these practices and you get to the point where you actually feel that third eye pop open and start tingling, then you know you're on the road to being able to manifest whatever you want in your life. Okay, I'm back to the original, so we'll come back to me now. So that might give you a better idea what I was talking about yesterday. I'm clarifying things here, and I will be re-clarifying things. Excuse me, gotta have that coffee in the morning. I will be re-clarifying things and going over things so that you can get this in your head. So yesterday we talked about breathing. We talked about breathing into the abdomen, dropping the diaphragm down, okay, and letting that air just kind of flow into the lungs and down into the abdominal area, where the second chakra is that I just showed you. If you need to rewind this stuff, you should do it, okay? And I also talked about nostril breathing. I think I wanted to, what did I want to do about that? I wanted to touch on something about that. I touched on the mantra, and I touched upon the left channel here being the moon channel and the right channel being the fire channel, and alternative nostril breathing. That means closing off one side with the finger and the other side, and breathing in, okay, and then switching sides and breathing out this side, in case people didn't quite get that. Okay, that's what alternative or alternate nostril breathing is. Okay, that's another way to get the energy flowing. Now, another thing, just start off simply here. When I talked about abdomen, take it step by step. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. Let me tell you why I'm doing this, because you need it, because the world is coming to a situation here. I think I should stress the importance. The world is coming to a situation where it's going to be sheer havoc. The energy right now is in such a chaotic mess. This stuff will ground you, center you. I'm going to be teaching you some other exercises, some Qigong exercises. I'm going to be teaching you all kinds of things to get you grounded and to get you centered and to get the breathing apparatus and the Qi flowing here, so that when the shit hits the fan, excuse my French, well, then you will be ready on a spiritual level. You will be ready on a very high, level. You will be one with the Creator. You will have basically ascended to heaven before you actually... A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to heaven, or I'm going to hell. Throw that dogma right out the window, because that's not what's happening at all. Heaven and hell is created right here on this earth. Okay? And you can go to heaven or you can go to hell. It's your choice. If you want to stay in the chaotic third dimensional realm, this is where my shamanistic stuff starts coming in, okay? Yes, I'm a practicing yogi, or I wouldn't be able to teach you this stuff, but I am a shaman, or let's say I practice shamanism, okay? I practice shamanism. So I know all about all other different kinds of areas that is associated with the yogic area, or what I'm teaching you on a meditational level is all hooked together with a shamanistic level. You have to know this stuff to be a shaman. You have to be able to manipulate energy. You have to be able to see with the third eye. Okay, you have to be able to be one with the source or the field that surrounds you. Now, are you going to become a shaman overnight or a yogi overnight? Well, no. Takes years, but the way things are accelerating right now, you never know. And whatever you can glean from thunder here is going to help you. Okay, it's going to help you. You're going to start feeling a lot better. Just the breathing exercises. Just the breathing exercises alone, watching your breath. A very simple way to start this stuff is just to sit there and watch your breath with your abdominal breathing. Breathing through your nose, your spine is erect. You might want to say the Om, 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 Om. You might want to say the Om mantra. You feel the vibration from that? I'm sure you can feel it right through the video. Om. Om. It should make your whole being vibrate, okay? And when your whole being is vibrating with that Om, it's sending out beautiful healing energy to your body. It's allowing the source, it's allowing the creative energy of the universe to flow in, okay? and flow out and cleanse you and heal you and renew you. So just sit with your spine erect, okay? And the way you can visualize that is by visualizing that there's a hook on the top of your head and it's gently pulling you upwards and stretching out your spine. And then you want to do some abdominal breathing, okay? And you want to keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth, behind the teeth, or in the jade pool, which is farther back in the soft part of your palate. And watch your breath, okay? Do your abdominal breathing. You don't really have to get into the alternative nostril breathing right now if you don't want to. Just watch your breath go in and out. Now, yesterday I talked about a mantra, the So Hum and the Hung Sa. You can use the Hung Sa, and let's say that is, I don't know if I spelled that correctly yesterday. It's basically, it's H-A-U-N-G, Hung Sa, S-A-U, okay? But you say it like, you say the Hong like Hong Kong, and you say the Sao like Saw, okay? Now, this is what I wanted to tell you about that. When you breathe in and you're watching your breath, okay, you're watching yourself breathe, you say Hong, but you say it the whole way. Hong, Saw. So when you breathe in, you go Hong. And when you breathe out, you go Saw. Breathe in, Hong, Saw. What does that mean? Well, that means I am he, or I am it, or I am that. Hong is the Saw. Hung Saw is the acknowledgement that you are the creator, that you are one with the creator. Now, the other mantra I told you about, So Hum, is he is me, okay? And Hung Sa is I am he, okay? That's why in the internal, or the alternate nostril breathing, the moon and the fire and the Sushumna and the Ida Pingala channels are activated. You are actually merging yourself with the creative energy of the universe. That's what you're doing. You can go all day long to your churches and pray all day long, and that's fine if that's what turns you on. But this is actually having direct communication with the creative source, the Purusha. Okay, your higher self. That's called P-U-R-U-S-H-A. Purusha. And another name is Para-Atman, which is P-A-R-A-A-T-M-A. Para-Atman. You are connecting with this higher hierarchy that has to be gone through to get to the divine emanation or the creative source. What is that higher hierarchy? Well, that is you. That is your higher self. That is your etheric and spiritual bodies. Boom, 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 boom. Going right up, Kind of like Miles Davis's song, 7 Steps to Heaven. Okay. The 7 chakras, okay, and the heavenly realm of your higher self. Don't buy into all this biblical dogma and think that there's some kind of personification of a God with a big beard and a scepter and sitting up there. You go that route, and you go the route of very slow progress. You go the route of dogma, not spirituality. My karma just ran over your dogma. All right? My karma just ran over your dogma. Get real, people, because this is a time of critical events on our planet, and we need all the help we can get from enlightened ones. Turn the light on. Turn the light on up here. Bingo. Pull the chain, turn the little light on, and let's get with it here. You're not going to find any of these kind of teachings in the alternative arena out there. Yeah, I talk about the news too, and I can be totally earthbound and lower frequency and cuss and whine and do all the stuff, but the sacred and profane is the same thing. It's the same thing, okay? It's two sides of the same coin. It's the head and the tails of life. It's the duality. So let's wake up, and let's wake your fellow human up to the reality of what you have to do to connect with the Supreme Source. Now that Supreme Source, that divine emanation, encompasses Unsi-Maka, or Sophia, or Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it, whatever tradition. It encompasses that. It's part of that. It's all one. The cosmos, Mother Earth, the heavens, the spirits of the four directions, which incidentally are Sapa for the west, Luta for the north, Gi for the east, and Ogagaska for the south. That's according to some medicine men. Okay, those are the names. If you wanna know what the spirit of the four directions are in Eastern philosophy or Hindu philosophy, it would be Varuna, would be the west. The north would be Soma, and the east would be Indra, and the south would be Yama, okay? And then you have the Shiva, Shakti, or the Brahman, that is the supreme emanation. Now the Native American people call that Wakantanka, or Tunkashila. You can call it anything you want. Some call it Kichimanatu, the tribes in the east. So I'm getting a little bit off subject here, but I'm going to give you as much information as I can. And I want you to review this video, and I want you to review the last video, and I want you to pose any questions that you might have in the comments section, or you can email me, because my email is in the show notes, if you noticed or not. And it's also on this website. Hold on here. Okay. Got stuff popping up here on my computer. spiritofcrazyhorse.com. That's in the show notes as well. If you want to get one of my books, and I'm going to do some readings from these books because I don't think people understand really how deep these books are and how shamanistic they are and what a wealth of knowledge is in there. These books were channeled, okay? They weren't just, oh, I'm going to sit down and write a book. These books were channeled and have a purpose. If you want to receive one of these books in a PDF form, an ebook, which you can read right on your computer, donate $10 or more, and I'll send it, when you do that, I'll get your email, and it automatically, your email is sent to me through PayPal. And you will receive through your email, you'll receive one of my books. Okay, this is an award-winning book here. It won the Cover Award, which is a metaphysical organization that doesn't give out awards lightly. Okay, and they gave out an award to me on this book for shamanistic writing. Okay, so if you want that book, donate $10 or more, and you get it. Okay, I mean, you know, if you go to Amazon and buy this book, you're looking at $12, $13. Now I'm going to change. I'm going to change the whole Amazon thing here pretty soon. I'm going to start selling these books personally and signed copies if you want a hard copy. But for now, let's just talk about donating and receiving it through the email. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm ending getting near the end of this video. Want to keep them kind of short so that you can review them, you know. Pass these videos around. Pass them around if you think they're worth something. And if you think that what I'm teaching you is worth something, you're not going to find this anywhere. I'm sorry. I mean, you can search around the internet and find different things on yoga, but just from a relaxed point of view and learning things from somebody that sees both sides of the same coin, and you should be passing this video around for humankind, for the anthropos, for mankind, and you should be liking it and you should be sharing it. Okay, and let's get the word out there, because there's not too many people. I consider this a purpose. I consider this a calling. I consider this, and this is going to go out regardless of whether you give me a donation or not. It's not about money. Actually, I want to get that book out there to you people, because if you start reading some of the chapters in there, you're going to realize that you're learning stuff that's way beyond what anybody else, what the sleepers out there know. So I would suggest that you, just for that purpose alone, not, you know, not like I'm making $1 million or something, because I'm not. And I don't do it for that. So anyway, I guess I'll leave it there today, and I'm going to come up with another video. Like I said, I got my production going here. I got a better sound thing. I can show things like I couldn't before. So peace unto you, you know. Peace unto you. Until I see you next time, adios.